Give me a depth reading by the mark.
By the mark. Halfway. Mark one. Mark three. Mark three. Mark four. Deep four. Ocean deep.
Down. Come over here, okay?
Mark 4. Engine room, head 3/4. Stand by. Steady as she goes. Captain?
Welcome aboard the Liberty Belle. I'm your captain, Horace Bixby, and my pilot with me here on the Texas deck is a young cub that goes by the name of Sam Clemens. Hey, he's marking his 100th voyage down the river today with nary a calamity on his watch so far. Sam knows this river like his own backyard.
Well now, I always figure it is better to keep your mouth shut and feel stupid than to open it and remove all doubt. But I will tell you this, I love this river more than anything else. I've loved this river, even from the time I was a toddler back in Missouri. Before we get too much further out of port, I think I should mention that you best not be sitting on those handrails. They're the only thing between you and the river, and the river don't always take kindly to uninvited guests. We've also had reports of river pirates operating in the vicinity, so I wouldn't lean out beyond those rails for that reason either. Now, for those of you on the port side, that river town we passed in is frontier land. A few years back, it was no more than a boom town carved out of the wilderness by a handful of settlers looking to start a new life. Today, utility and decorum are running rampant. Oh, it still has a share of footloose trappers, keel boaters, prospectors, and an Indian or two, but mostly it's flush times and well on its way to becoming a fine big city. Frontierland reminds me some of my own hometown, Hannibal. It takes me back to when I was a barefoot boy growing up alongside the riverbank. You know, it seems to me that when I was young, I could remember everything, whether it happened or not. But as I grow older, I seem to remember only the things that never happened at all. Starboard side was my stomping grounds when I was young. Exceedingly young. Marvelously young. Young by hundreds of years. Younger than I will ever be again. It's called Tom Sawyer's Island and is named for a friend from my boyhood. Even today, the only way you can get there is by raft. Old man Harper's grain mill is there, back in the woods just off Tom's Landing. And that's Muck Potter's pond and his windmill. We almost came once. And there's Huck's Landing. I always did like Huck. He could swear just wonderful. He and Tom and I spent most of our wild and reckless youth exploring that island. Lots of caves, lots of adventure, if you know where to look. And we all knew where to look. And that's Superstition Bridge. It connects the Big Island to the Little one. And if you follow the Wilderness Trail there, it'll lead you right up to the gates of Fort Langhorne. It's the last trading outpost before we head into Indian country. Look off to the port side there. Every now and then, the water under that crest of rock comes to a natural boil and spurts out all over the place like a tea kettle left on the fire too long. The Indians around here used to tell me these geysers were actually unfriendly spirits, upset by uninvited trespassers traipsing all over their sacred hunting ground. Be that as it may, that's Big Thunder Mountain poking up in the sky over there. The Indians named it that because of the sound the falls used to make when the big rains came. And the miners and prospectors and get-rich-quick speculators showed up, and the name stuck because of the sound of blasting powder going off every few minutes. There's not so much blasting these days, just ghost stories. A runaway mine train loaded down with simple-hearted, terror-filled folks like you. Well, I'll be. Look who's drifted out of the bayou. Off to port, Captain. It's Beacon Joe.
Old Beacon's been marking this river for longer than I can remember. Every time the river cuts a new channel, Beacon puts out a marker to let us know whether it's safe to travel or not. However, Sam here has been bragging that if push came to shove, he can navigate the Liberty Belle on a heavy deal. Isn't that so?
Well, I was born humble, Captain. Mostly it's worn off.
Looks to be from the Palisade tribe. Usually they stay further east. As Seminole or Miami is far west. And of course your Shawnee black-tailed and pearl, but I've never seen on your place.
Lots of game out this way. I've seen moose and deer and plenty of other critters along the shoreline.
Could be why the Palisade is this far. Just following the boot trail. Most of the Indians along the river don't quite know what to make of our steamboat. They call it hello, which means fire blue. There's smoke and sparks pouring out of our house. The first time we passed this way, they thought it was the return of one of their messengers. They said our river was a honorable son. Just beyond the village, up that hill, is their sacred burial ground. And those who fall in battle placed atop the traditional bed of death. After nightfall, they'll return to mourn the great warriors who brought honor to the tribe.
Attention deck watch. Shoals to port and starboard. Engine room, steady on.
We're entering shallow water, but there's no cause for worry. Sam knows every shoal and shallow snag and sandbar in this part of the river, and he will navigate us through to safe water. You wouldn't steer us wrong, would you, Sam?
I believe we ought never to do wrong, Captain. Especially when others are looking. Stay back. Hang out.
Those of you that have been this way before know that the water can get fairly shallow along this stretch of the river. Please note about the depth. Each mark is a fathom, 6 feet. Mark 20 is 2 fathoms, and for us that means safe water.
Captain, we're passing Cutthroat Corner. Attention deck crew. Stay alert. If there's river pirates out here, this is where they'll most likely be. I can hear them from here. After all the commotion, it sounds like their interests lie elsewhere. If you folks on deck look past the trees on the island, that's Fort Langhorne. Most of these old forts started out as trading posts. Then as settlers started heading west, the army came in and took them over. My feeling is, these days, there's a lot less frontier and a lot more civilization than is truly necessary. Leadsman, give me a depth reading. Sing out. You see that brick mansion back over yonder there in the woods? I've heard folks hereabouts say it's haunted. They say it was built on sacred Indian burial grounds, so now it's filled with spirits. If you ask me, I'd say the ones telling those tales are the ones filled with spirits. You want proof? Just ask them. They got it. About 100 proof, I reckon. And whatever you do, don't strike any matches if they aim to breathe in your direction. You won't just be seeing ghosts, you'll be joining them. We're approaching Liberty Square, which is home court for us. We'll be putting into dock shortly, so those of you on the upper two decks might be of a mind to collect all your parcels and head to the lower deck. Got youngins who want to take them in here before they get out of hand. On behalf of the captain, myself, and the crew, thanks for flying the waterways with us. I hope I'll see you next time around the River Bend.
Thanks, Sam, and thank you, everyone, for traveling the rivers of America with us today.
Engine room. Approach levee at 1/4 steam. Man the bow line. Purser, check freight and cargo. All hands prepare to dock. All passengers, stand by, go ashore.
Welcome back to Liberty Square. At this time, please grab your children by the hand and your personal belongings as you make your way down to the lower deck of the boat. That is where you're going to be making our one and only exit today. Once again, folks, to exit the Liberty Belle, you are going to head on down to the last bottom deck of the boat. Make sure you take your personal belongings and your children by the hand with you. Thanks for coming out to Liberty Square, and enjoy the rest of your day here at the Magic Kingdom.